You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 5 with your award-winning news team, Lynn Brooks, Terri Brewer, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Coming up in home team weather, kind of cool out there this evening, back in the 60s area-wide, 67 degrees, Tuscaloosa 61 in Haleyville. How cold's it going to get tonight? Deep freeze is likely. Join us for home team weather, full details, plus your weekend forecast. Home team weather is coming up.
The RVs started rolling into Tuscaloosa as early as Thursday for this football weekend. We'll show you how they're having some game weekend fun already. And they will be talking about the Bama-Tennessee game and all this weekend's big matchups. Gary Harris and John Huddleston are on the way a little bit later at 5 with another round of Fearless Football Picks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Janie Wallace in for Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Terri Brewer. We are live at the University of Alabama campus. It is another big game weekend in Tuscaloosa, feeling more like fall football weather. Of course, it's the Alabama-Tennessee matchup this weekend. We are going to have everything you need to know if you're making your way to campus or if you're not and you just want to enjoy some of the football atmosphere from your living room. Also, we're going to show you how people are already out here having some fun. But first, we're going to send it back into our news studio. That's where Daniel Sparkman has some of today's top local stories. Daniel.
Thanks, Terri and Janie. Topping our news today, a University of Alabama football player has been arrested in connection with drugs. Authorities say 18-year-old Brent Cameron Calloway was arrested in the 900 block of Paul Bryant Drive around 1 this morning. Authorities say the arrest happened when patrol officers initiated a traffic stop on a vehicle Calloway was a passenger in for driving without the lights on. Authorities say officers approached the vehicle and smelled a strong odor of marijuana. Officers say they made contact with Calloway and found a bag containing marijuana in it on his person. Calloway was arrested and charged with unlawful possession of marijuana in the second degree. He was transported to the Tuscaloosa County Jail pending a $1,000 bond. A 33-year-old man has been arrested for sodomy in Tuscaloosa. Authorities say Randall Roberts performed a sexual act on a 23-year-old male without his consent. Authorities say witnesses intervened and stopped Roberts during the act. Roberts was later taken into custody at his home and arrested. While police were at his home, they found drug paraphernalia. Roberts was arrested and charged with sodomy in the first degree and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. And now that'll do it for the news. We'll head back to the University of Alabama campus with Terri and Janie.
Thanks, Daniel. It is a huge weekend going on across West Alabama. There's high school football. There's a huge Tennessee game with Alabama tomorrow. There's so much going on, and lots of folks are going to be getting outside this weekend.
That's right. So what they need is some good weather. We're going to check out a first look at your weekend weather with WVUA Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard, happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday to you guys out there, Terri and Janie. Gorgeous conditions right now looking northeast from our Tuscaloosa Tower camera over the campus, University of Alabama. Blue skies in place. It has been nice this afternoon, but it's going to get cold tonight. In fact, temperature's going to drop off quickly, down to 65 in Tuscaloosa. We'll have 67 in Demopolis. Low 60s on the board for Haleyville and Coleman at 60 at this hour. Now, our Football Friday forecast, this is what we're talking about in terms of quick cool down. 58 degrees by 7 o'clock. Check out the 10 o'clock observation. You have 45 forecasted tonight at 10 o'clock. So bundle up if you are heading out to local high school football games. And quickly, the weekend forecast, Saturday and Sunday. Hey, nice weather for afternoon highs. Upper 60s on Saturday. Low 70s are likely on Sunday. Good supply of sunshine. How about the rest of the forecast? So we do have some rain chance to talk about. We'll talk about that coming up in home team weather.
All right, you know, it couldn't be more perfect. We're listening to Richard talk about the weather. We just got this gust of wind out here live at the University of Alabama campus. You can feel the excitement, also the wind in the air.
You sure can, and fans have already started making their way to the university. Here now is a live look over the city of Tuscaloosa, where if you could see University Boulevard, it is packed bumper to bumper. You might even can hear them behind us as they're streaming in and out of downtown, down to the heart of campus, and it has just been nonstop all day and steadily growing. And we anticipate it being that way throughout tonight and into tomorrow. And this weekend is packed with lots of fun and football, and we're right here in front of the quad where that is the heart of the university, and that is Gameday Central. Earlier today we checked out what was happening over there, and Gameday was already putting up their tents. You can see there where they're working and putting all the tents up over there. And tomorrow it's going to be packed with orange and crimson tents as well. Right now I can tell you that the quad is almost already full, and they're going to be tailgating with all kinds of fun activities, getting everything ready for that big game day celebration.
You know, speaking of football and how people like to have the football experience, some folks like to take it on the road with their RV. Some fans like these. They load up the RV and hit the road following the Tide and, of course, the Volunteers like these folks right there all over the country. These fans pack up these little homes on wheels and travel to the games, sometimes days ahead of the actual game, and it becomes like a community of football fans living side by side.
It certainly does, Terry. I'm sorry. The wind just came through here and got me a little bit, folks, so this is live TV right here.
I'll have to report that to Richard.
Please do that, Richard. You just stop that for just a second. Well, it's not the third Saturday in October, but it is still one of the best rivalries, and we're talking about Bama versus Tennessee. And we have some video from last year where the Crimson Tide just pounded the Vols up in Knoxville. They blew up in the third quarter, adding 21 points to their first half lead. And before the Vols knew what hit them, the Tide would go on to blow up their old rival 41-10. Now tomorrow, Alabama and Tennessee kick off at Bryant-Denny Stadium at 6:15. But if you can't make it to the game, you can catch it on ESPN2. If you've got questions about what channel that is at your house, or if your service includes, or what your service includes, be sure to call your local cable or satellite provider. Well, crimson and orange are popping up all around Tuscaloosa as fans get ready for the big game day.
That's right, and our crews have been out. They found plenty of Tennessee fans already in Tuscaloosa. They're decked out in their team spirit. Some fans ditched the cars and RVs and chose to float on down the river to come to the game. Now, regardless if they're rolling on the river or setting up camp with their RVs, Tide and Vols fans alike say they are looking forward to Saturday's big game.
Oh yeah, we travel whether we win, lose, or draw. That's just, I mean, we go for the, as I say, to meet people and be with friends, and that's part of it. You know, football is great.
Now, if you have questions about game day, there are several ways to get information. You can get up-to-the-minute traffic, parking, and weather information at the UA Game Day Facebook page. You can also follow UA Game Day on Twitter and for your smartphones. There's a UA Game Day mobile website to get information right at your fingertips. For more information on game day procedures, just go to WVUATV.com, click numbers and links, and look under sports. And don't forget to join us Saturday tomorrow for Crimson Tide kickoff. Presented by Alpha Insurance, Gary Harris and John Huddleston will have previews for all the big SEC games, plus live interviews and special reports. Crimson Tide kickoff starts at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, and that is only right here on WVUA TV. And speaking of football, Alabama's home team is the place for all your high school football action. Gary Harris and the WVUA sports team will bring you all the highlights from West Alabama's biggest games. That's starting tonight at 10:35, immediately following WVUA News at 10. And here at 5, we've got plenty more ahead for you. A big announcement about jobs, new jobs in West Alabama. We've got that on the way. Plus, Gary Harris and John Huddleston will analyze this Saturday night's Alabama-Tennessee game coming up later in Alabama's home team sports.